Jake Meeker. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor our nation of those that protect and serve it, we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the performance of the national anthem. See by the dawn's early light, once so proudly hailed at the twilight's last streaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting give proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It's a breezy but beautiful Friday night in Olean as the third and fourth place teams in the Western Division of the PGCBL get set to play 9 innings here at historic Bradner Stadium in Olean, New York. I'm Matt Volz. Welcome to this broadcast of Oilers baseball. Oilers enter play tonight at 7-5, sitting in fourth place in the West Division. And their opponent tonight for the first time, the Auburn Doubledays. Auburn has had an excellent season so far, 8-3, sitting in third place in the West Division. Both Auburn and Olean have had very solid seasons, and they'll match up for the first time this year. On the mound for the Oilers is the right-hander Brendan Roche. Again, we saw him last year for the Oilers. He's had a bit of a slow start pitching this year. This is his fourth start of the season. He's pitched a grand total of 9 2/3 innings across 3 starts, so Brendan definitely looking to go deeper into this game than he has in some other games this year. He's 0-1, an ERA of 7.45. And opponents batting .333 off of Brendan. So with a very good Auburn lineup that as a team has batted .335 this year, the Oilers will definitely look to limit that. We'll take a look at the Auburn batting order as the leadoff man, Riley Ames, steps into the batter's box. And again, as mentioned, a nice night, a little bit of a breezy night. 66 degrees at the time of first pitch. Wind is blowing from right field out towards left center-ish in that general direction. Righty-righty matchup to start our game. The first pitch is a ball, and it's 6:29. 1 minute ahead of schedule. We are underway. It's the center fielder Riley Ames leading off for the Doubledays. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch from Roche is a strike called at the bottom of the zone. So again, the Oilers very familiar with Brendan Roche. He pitched here last year. Roche, a native of Middletown, New Jersey, going into his senior year at Montclair State. 1-1 to Riley Ames is a called strike 2. So Brendan's out in front early on. Riley Ames, a native of Sylvania, Ohio, plays his college baseball at Mercyhurst, so not too far. 1-2 pitch from Roche. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Roche freezes him for out number 1. So you talk about a pitcher who's looking to rebound from a little bit of a slow start to the season. That's a good start for Brendan Roche, ringing up Riley Ames. So we'll take a look at the rest of the Doubledays batting order. Connor Rumpf steps to the dish now. He is the shortstop. He'll bat second. Luke Geyer, the DH for Auburn, will bat third. Brendan Smith will bat cleanup. First pitch here to Rumpf just misses, ball 1. And the rest of the Auburn batting order, Flynn Shoup will come to the plate in the 5 spot. Chase Moore is your extra hitter. He'll bat 6th. Braden Michelson 7th. As the 1-0 pitch is in there for strike 1. William Ragland III will bat 8th for Auburn. Jose Taveras will bat 9th. And Steven Ambrosio will bat in the 10 spot. 1-1 pitch from Roche just inside, ball 2. Auburn wearing their road navy blue uniforms. Red lettering, white trim. Oilers in their white home uniforms, red lettering, black trim. 2-1 pitch from Roche. High, ball 3. Uniforms for the Doubledays very reminiscent of the Minnesota Twins uniforms. Look very similar. Roche gives a nod to the Oiler catcher behind the plate, Brady Smith. And the 3-1 pitch swung on and fouled away. We'll take a look at the Oilers defense after this 3-2 offering to the shortstop, Connor Rumpf. Rumpf, the native of Byfield, Massachusetts, plays his college baseball at St. Anselm College. 3-2 pitch from Roche, swung on and popped up. Shallow on the infield, that is playable, and caught by Braden Rader at second base for out number 2. First 2 have been set down. Rumpf is down on a pop fly to second. And we'll take this opportunity to take a look at the Oilers defense. Again, it's Brady Smith behind the plate, Jack Painter at first, Braden Rader at second, Logan Coslin at third, Connor O'Mara is the shortstop. Will Watson in left field, Cooper Tarley in center, and Matt Buffalo is in right. First pitch to the DH, Luke Geyer, is fouled away. Geyer, the first lefty we've seen in the Doubledays lineup in the early going of this one. Native of Bordentown, New Jersey. Plays for the University of Delaware. 0-1 pitch, just misses, ball 1. Again, mostly blue sky, some clouds behind home plate, but a very nice Friday night for a game. 1-1 pitch, cut on and missed. So Roche trying to finish off the top of the first inning in style. And again, you talk about the struggles that he's had a little bit this year. Looking for him to go deeper into the games. And the 1-2 pitch to Geyer, swung on and hit on the ground to second. Rader has that, and he'll throw on to first. A very efficient 1-2-3 inning for Brendan Roche. We're headed to the bottom of the first on a gorgeous Friday night at Bradner Stadium. Auburn nothing on the board. Oilers coming to bat in the bottom of the first. To the home half of the first we go, and the Oilers come to bat after a very efficient 1-2-3 inning from Brendan Roche on the mound with a strikeout, pop fly, and a ground out. And now the Oilers will come to bat against the right-hander for Auburn. That's William Baker III, number 14. Baker, a native of Evans, Georgia, pitches for Daytona Beach Christian University, and the first pitch to the Oilers' extra hitter, Dana Williams, is swung on and missed. William Baker making his third start of the year, and he's been pretty good for the Doubledays. He's 2-0. Only allowed 6 total runs. 5 of those earned. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. So he hasn't allowed very many runners to score, but offenses have hit the ball fairly well against him. Opponents are batting .311 against Baker, so getting on base has not really been the trouble. It's been coming home to score. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and hit high in the air toward deep right center field. Going back is the right fielder Ambrosio to make the catch for out number 1. So Dana Williams gave that one a ride, but Ambrosio got over and made the catch for out number 1. So we'll take a look at the Olean batting order after Dana Williams flew out. Braden Rader due up now. The DH is Antonio Cordero. He'll bat in the 3 spot. Jack Painter will bat cleanup. Cooper Tarley bats 5th. Connor O'Mara 6th. Brady Smith 7th. Logan Coslin 8th. Will Watson 9th. And Matt Buffalo bats in the 10 spot. First pitch to the left-handed hitting Braden Rader is a called strike. Couple of lefties to start in this first inning. Rader involved in 2 of the 3 outs in the top of the first inning. 0-1 pitch to him here is a called strike on the inside corner. So both pitchers really attacking the strike zone early on. Braden comes in at tonight batting .167, looking to get that number up a little bit. 0-2 pitch to him, swung on and pulled down the line. Snared at first by Braden Michelson, and he will beat Rader to the bag. 2 outs. So a nice play over at first. Both defenses playing very well so far. 2 down in the first, and then I'll bring up Antonio Cordero. Have not seen much of Antonio Cordero. This is only his 3rd at-bat of the season and his first at Bradner Stadium. Cordero 0 for 2 in those at-bats, but did get on base a couple of times. First pitch to Cordero is inside, ball 1. Antonio listed as a catcher on the Oiler roster. He bats right-handed, wears number 52. Antonio is a native of the Steel City from Pittsburgh. The 1-0 pitch is a called strike. He's heading into his senior year behind the plate for the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch is swung on and lifted in the air toward left, but that'll go out of play foul. Cordero got a good piece of that, just pulled it a little bit too far foul. So Cordero stands back in as William Baker's done a good job of getting ahead against all 3 Oilers hitters as Brendan Roche did in the top of the first. That one swung on and lifted in the air toward left field. That is playable and caught for Brendan Smith out in left. So both lineups go down in order. The Oilers do put the ball in play all 3 times, but are set down in order. We'll make our way to the top half of the second. Doubledays and Oilers scoreless at Bradner Stadium. Top of the second inning at Bradner Stadium. No score between the Oilers and the Doubledays. And the first pitch to the left fielder, Brendan Smith, is a called strike. We'll see the 4, 5, and 6 hitters come to the plate. That gets started with the left fielder, Smith. 0-1 from Brendan Roche is a called strike 2. So Brendan really putting emphasis on attacking in this inning. Very efficient first inning. Sent the Doubledays down in order. 0-2 pitch to Smith. Swung on and popped up. Smith gives that a look, and that will go out of play. It's been a pretty windy couple of days in Olean. Wind is not as strong as it has been tonight, but still potentially something to notice for the carry of the baseball. Again, that wind's going from, it's hard to estimate direction. It looks like it's going a little bit right toward left field. 0-2 pitches swung on and missed, and Brendan Roche has his second strikeout. So really nice start to this game for both pitchers and both defenses as well, as Flynn Shoop will come to the plate. Shoop is the third baseman for the Doubledays. He bats right-handed and wears number 2. First pitch to Shoop just misses, ball 1. Flynn, a native of Petaluma, California, plays for Denison College. 0-1 pitch, 1-0 pitch rather, misses just high. It's ball 2. Really haven't seen Brendan fall behind in counts too much. He's done a good job of attacking. We'll see if he's able to come back. Again, Brendan was really one of the prominent members of the Oilers rotation last year too. 2-0 pitch is low and away, ball 3. Oilers have gotten some good pitching from a couple of other players. Jake Menendez had a couple of really nice starts. Mark Holm has been fantastic out of the bullpen as well. The 3-0 pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. That really, just to name a few, the Oilers have seemed to gel a lot more. A little bit of an up and down start to the season, but things seem to be heading in the right direction for the team. The 3-1 pitch swung on and hit in the air toward right. Retreating back is Matt Buffalo, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. So Roche falls behind, but still gets the out. So the extra hitter, Chase Moore, makes his way to the plate. Moore, number 15, a native of Lexington, Kentucky. Plays his college baseball at Alcorn State. He's a left-handed bat, number 15. Would presume that he may be a fan of the Kentucky Wildcats if he's from Lexington, as the first pitch is swung on and fouled back. So Roche trying to keep the good times rolling here in this second inning. 0-1 pitch is up high, ball 1. And the Oilers are getting to see some teams that they've never seen before, and not only haven't seen yet this season, but have never seen, as this being their first season in the PGCBL. 1-1 pitch misses high for ball 2. Auburn is, of course, one of those teams. A few of the other teams in the West Division, the Oilers not too familiar with, at least not yet. 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Coming into play tonight, the Batavia Muck Dogs lead the division at 9-2. Jamestown 11-4. So those two at the top of the division, and Auburn and Olean right behind them. 2-2 pitch from Roche. That one inside nearly got a piece of Chase Moore. And did it hit him? Looks like it did. Just did catch him the slightest bit, and so with 2 outs and 2 strikes, Auburn has their first base runner of the game, and it keeps the inning going to the 7-spot hitter, Braden Michelson. Well, hitting a batter with 2 strikes is never ideal, but Roche just 1 out away from getting out of this inning. Trying to do that, no damage done. Braden Michelson, the right-handed hitting first baseman, bats in the 7th spot. Runner goes, pitches a ball, throw down to second is a great throw, and Brady Smith guns down Chase Moore. Woo. What a throw! And the Oilers are out of the inning after only 1 pitch to Braden Michelson. A caught stealing ends the top of the 2nd, and a fantastic throw from Brady Smith sends us to the home half of inning number 2, scoreless between the Doubledays and the Oilers. To the home half of inning number 2 in a scoreless game, as Auburn got a base runner on a hit by pitch, and an incredible throw from Brady Smith was able to gun him down on a caught stealing. We may see Smith in this inning if one of the Oilers can get on base. Jack Painter will try to do that. He's leading off, and he takes ball 1. We'll see Painter followed by Cooper Tarley and Connor O'Mara. 1-0 pitch, just misses, ball 2. Painter, a left-handed bat, wears number 50, another returning Oiler from last year, native of Columbia, South Carolina, going into his redshirt sophomore year at Bryant and Stratton down in Virginia. 2-0 pitch misses for ball 3. Now, the one thing that is very true about Jack Painter, he carries a lot of power in his bat. If he gets a hold of one, he's got a chance, but he's going to earn himself a 4-pitch walk. So the Oilers now get their first base runner. Rough start to the 2nd inning after a really good first inning from William Baker, the 3rd on the mound. Baker sent the Oilers down in order with 2 flyouts and a ground out. And now the center fielder, Cooper Tarley, will bat. Tarley, a native of the state of Massachusetts, going into his sophomore year at William and Mary. Takes a first pitch high for a ball. Now, speaking of power in the bat, Cooper Tarley has that. He hit a home run earlier this season at Bradner Stadium. He's hit 1 of 2 homers the Oilers have this year. Both have been here in this ballpark. 1-0 pitch is a late strike call. That one just caught the high and inside corner. It's a short lead off of first for Jack Painter. Not a noted base stealer, but he'll go on something that goes back to the backstop for sure. 1-1 pitch is cut on and missed. Tarley coming into play tonight, batting .320, having a really nice first season offensively for the Oilers, getting on base 50% of the time, too. Tarley's driven in 7 runs on the season as well. 1-2 pitch to him here, is swung on and hit high and deep out to center field. Going back is Riley Ames, looking up and making the catch right in front of the wall. Boy, Cooper Tarley missed a home run by about maybe 4 feet, if that. And that's out number 1 at the bottom of the 2nd. Hooper gave that one a ride, but Riley Ames able to track it down for the first out. That is the one thing to keep an eye on as far as the wind. Depending on the direction of the wind, sometimes you can see that the ball will be knocked down, and I would expect that to be the case tonight. And a little bit of a right field toward third base wind direction. First pitch to Connor O'Mara, the Oilers shortstop tonight, is a strike. Connor batting an even 200 coming into the game tonight. Native of Colbert, Georgia. That one is low. Painter's going to head for second. The throw down there is going to be perfect from Jose Taveras. So that's out number 2. Ball got away from Taveras for just a second. Painter decided to go. And ultimately, both catchers now have thrown somebody out, and the Oilers lose their base runner. One ball and one strike to the shortstop, O'Mara. Another lefty in the Oiler lineup. Where's number 7? The 1-1 pitch to him. Floats in and just misses. It's ball 2. And both teams still looking for their first hit here in that second inning. Both have had one base runner. And both those base runners were thrown out trying to snag second base. 2-1 pitch to O'Mara, swung on, fouled back. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. O'Mara tries to stand in and continue the inning. Catcher Brady Smith waiting on deck. Baker gives a look into Taveras, and the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. He froze him. Connor thought that one was a little bit outside. Ultimately, it's strike 3. So a leadoff 4-pitch walk does not come back to hurt William Baker. An excellent throw from Jose Taveras behind the plate. Guns down Painter at second. And we'll make our way to the third inning here on a gorgeous Friday night at Bradner Stadium. Auburn and Olean are scoreless. We head to the third inning here at Bradner Stadium. It's the 7, 8, and 9 batters here in the third. Braden Michelson was at the plate when Chase Moore was gunned down at second base for out number 3, and he pops up the first pitch on the infield. We'll see who wants this. O'Mara, the shortstop, makes the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out in the top of the third. So even though he has allowed a base runner, Roche has faced the minimum amount of batters through 7, and William Ragland will come to the plate. Ragland, the right-handed hitting second baseman. William Ragland the third, actually. He takes the first pitch up high for ball 1. Two players on the Auburn roster who are the third of their name, as well as starting pitcher William Baker. 1-0 pitch is swung on and popped up, and that'll go out of play off the first base side, head into the street behind the press box. So Ragland, a right-handed bat, is a native of Hilliard, Ohio. Plays his college baseball at Lincoln Memorial University. 1-1 pitch is a strike called on an excellent fastball from Roche. One ball and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting second baseman. And the pitch from Roche is swung on and rolled on the ground. Roche has that. He'll throw to first in time for out number 2. So the Oilers' infield defense getting involved. First 2 set down here in the third, and that'll bring up Jose Taveras, the Doubledays catcher. So Taveras steps in, a native of Claremont, Florida, plays his college baseball at Tallahassee State College. First one to Jose is a called strike. Jose batting .222 so far this season. The 0-1 pitch is a close take, and it's ball 1. Taveras wearing number 34 for the purposes of tonight's game on their roster, officially wears number 92. 1-1 pitch from Roche, strike called. Brendan trying to keep finding the corners of the strike zone. We'll see if he throws something to try and get Taveras to chase at it here. 1-2 pitch from Roche, swung on and hit on the ground. O'Mara ranges to his left, has that, throws on to first, and fires a strike for the out. So Brendan Roche has his second 1-2-3 inning. A very, very efficient first 3 innings for Roche. We'll make our way to the bottom of the third here at Bradner Stadium. Oilers and Doubledays are scoreless. Bottom of the third inning here at Bradner Stadium in Olean. No score between the Olean Oilers and the Auburn Doubledays. I'm Matt Volz. William Baker the third on the mound. The first pitch to Brady Smith is grounded through. Connor Rumpf, a base hit. So that's the first base hit that we've seen for either team tonight. Brady attacking on the first pitch, a leadoff single in the home half of the third. Well, even with that base hit so far, both pitchers, Brennan Roche for Olean and William Baker the third for Auburn, so far both have pitched really well in this game. So now Logan Coslin at the dish. First pitch from Baker swung on and fouled back. Well, Coslin's offensive numbers have not been quite what he's wanted them to be, batting 154 coming into play. On-base percentage is really good, though. Gets on base roughly 48% of the time, 476 on-base percentage. 0-1 skips in the dirt, ball one. And the number one reason for Logan being a mainstay in the lineup has been his defense over at third base. We've seen him make some terrific plays at the hot corner this year. 1-1 pitch to him is high for a ball. Again, with a player like, years ago, he used to, it's kind of old school baseball philosophy, but, years ago, you'd have your defensive specialists that were solely focused on being defensively solid. As the 2-1 pitch is floated in a shallow left center field, that is caught by Brendan Smith for the out. So Logan just hit that one a little bit too hard. That one caught by Smith for out number one, and it'll bring the left fielder Will Watson to the plate. But back in the day, it always, you'd have maybe it'd be a center fielder or an infield utility second baseman, something like that. As Smith goes, the pitch is a strike. The throw down to second is not going to be in time. Brady Smith has a stolen base. So believe it or not, that's the first runner in scoring position that either team has had in this game. And for Brady Smith, that is his first stolen base of the season. 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. It's his first stolen base attempt, too. Wind has definitely picked up. You can see it in the trees in left center field as the 0-2 pitch is swung on and hit down the left field line. Is that going to drop fair? It will! That one drops in for a hit. Rounding third and coming home to score is Brady Smith. It's a stand-up RBI double for Will Watson, and the Oilers lead 1-0 in the third. So Watson picks up the RBI as Brady Smith comes home to score. Will Watson picking up his first RBI as an Olean Oiler. It's an RBI double. Again, first extra base hit we've seen tonight. And Brady Smith comes in to score. So the 10-spot hitter, Matt Buffalo, will look to do some more damage. Boy, the first two innings, and you can say that about the top of the third too, were really dominated by pitching. Oilers offense breaking through against Baker as the first pitch to Buffalo is a called strike. Matt, a native of Pine Bush, New York, a redshirt sophomore at Canisius. The 0-1 pitch is up high, ball one. So Brady Smith with the leadoff single. Then stealing second base and coming home on the double. That's what they call ABC baseball. 1-1 pitch is high, ball two. Of course, fans of Major League Baseball out in the Midwest may know that more affectionately as Whitey Ball, paying tribute to the St. Louis Cardinals of the mid-1980s. The 2-1 pitch to Buffalo is low. Again, a team with a big philosophy of getting on base any way you can, and they had some speedsters on that club. Oilers trying to emulate that. They've had some really successful base stealing opportunities this year, as the 3-1 pitch is low, ball 4, and Buffalo draws a walk. So the top of the order comes back up, and it's the extra hitter, Dana Williams. Williams flew out to right field back in the first inning. You got good speed on the base paths with Watson and Buffalo. First one of Dana Williams is high and away, ball 1. This is where it becomes really important for Jose Taveras behind the plate, not only to guide his pitcher Baker through the rest of this inning, but you've got to keep the ball in front of you with good speed on the base paths. 1-0 pitch just misses. That one's low and in, ball 2. You had to figure with the speed of both runners, anything back to the backstop should easily allow them to advance. 2-0 pitch is inside, ball 3. So Baker, who has been through the first 2 innings, was really under control, executed phenomenally. Now finding some control issues. And he's behind 3-0 to the extra hitter, Dana Williams. 3-0 pitch. That one catches the inside corner for a strike. So Williams now at 3-1. Both runners take their leads. 3-1 pitch swung on and lifted high in the air. Out to deep left center field. Riley Ames going back. Who wants this one? Making a basket catch is Brendan Smith. Both runners will head back. That's out number 2. Another long, loud out for the Oiler batters. They've hit a lot deep into the outfield. So that'll bring Braden Rader to the plate. Rader grounded out his first time up. The runners at first and second. And 2 outs. Braden's had a nice defensive game at second base so far tonight. First pitch to him here is swung on and popped up on the infield, calling everybody else off as the second baseman, William Ragland III, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. But a leadoff base hit from Brady Smith, a stolen base for Brady, and an RBI double for Will Watson gives the Oilers the lead. After 3 at Bradner Stadium, Olean leading Auburn 1-0. Top of the 4th inning here at Bradner Stadium. The 10-1-2 hitters due up for the Auburn Doubledays, and getting it started is the right fielder Steven Ambrosio, who takes a first pitch low and away for a ball. Ambrosio, a native of Auburn, New York, playing for his hometown team. Plays his college baseball at Alfred State, takes the 1-0 pitch for a ball. So we'll see Ambrosio followed by Riley Ames and Connor Rumpf. 2-0 pitch is swung on and fouled back. Steven, a right-handed bat, wears number 6, batting an even 200, coming into play, but he's done an excellent job to get on base this season. 2-1 pitch from Brennan Roche is high ball 3, and there's a perfect example of that. Steven Ambrosio has an on-base percentage of .556. Gets on base nearly 56% of the time. 3-1 pitch is a called strike. So I guess for any fans of the Anchorman movies, you would say 56% of the time he gets on base every time. 3-2 pitch from Roche. Strike 3 called. He froze him. That one a little bit low, but it catches the corner. Strike 3. Brendan Roche has his 3rd strikeout of the night. And out number 1 after falling behind to Ambrosio. So Riley Ames will come to the plate. Now he was a strikeout victim back in the 1st inning to lead off the game. Riley batting .294 this year. He'll take the first one low and away, ball 1. Ames has driven in 2. And he's the primary base stealer for this team. He's stolen 6 this year. 1-0 pitch called strike. A right-handed bat and a very good defensive center fielder as we've seen in the game so far. Really both these teams very strong defensively. 1-1 pitch from Roche, just outside ball 2. Defensively, the Doubledays have been really good this season. 2-1 pitch misses low, ball 3, which of course has contributed to their successful start to the year. They've also had some really good pitching. Opponents batting just .239 off of Doubledays pitching. 3-1 pitch is low, ball 4. So a 1-out walk issued to Riley Ames. He's on base for the first time tonight. Only the second base runner for the Doubledays so far in this game. First walk issued by Roche. Chase Moore was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning and was thrown out trying to steal second. That's something you got to be aware of with Riley Ames. Would not be surprised to see him take off. First pitch to Connor Rumpf. Misses for ball 1. Rumpf popped up to the Oilers second baseman Braden Rader back in the 1st inning. He is 0 for 1. 1-0 pitch. There goes Ames. Pitch is a strike. Throw down to second is just not in time. A solid throw from Smith, but came in a little bit low. Rolls in towards center field, and Ames has a stolen base. So each team with a stolen base here in the middle part of this game. A ball and a strike to Connor Rumpf. Riley Ames is a perfect 7 for 7 in stolen base attempts this year. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. And they've got some pretty good speed. Doubledays have stolen 53 bases this year. Compare that to 11 for opponents. Ball and 2 strikes. Pitch from Roche. Low, but kept in front by Brady. A little bit of a rotation at catcher. We've seen Brady Smith for a handful of games. We've seen Anthony Radis for a handful of games as well. Antonio Cordero batting in the DH spot tonight. 2-2 pitch from Roche. Swung on and hit towards center field. That's going to get down for a hit. Tarley fields it. Rounding third is Ames. He's going to come home to score. Relay to the plate is going to go all the way back to the backstop. The Doubledays tie the game, and Connor Rumpf heads for second base. So the throw ends up resulting in the runner getting in a scoring position. And with an RBI single, their first hit of the game, Auburn has tied it at 1. Connor Rumpf gets the RBI single, advances to second as well, which he was likely going to do on the throw home anyways. First pitch to Geyer, swung on and fouled back. So Rumpf getting on base with the hit, getting to second on the throwing error. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and lined just underneath the glove of the diving Raider. Stopping at third is Rumpf. It's a base hit for Geyer, the second straight hit. And the Doubledays have him at the corners. Now still with only one out. 3 straight have reached. And that'll bring Brendan Smith to the plate. Brendan Smith 0 for 1. He struck out back in the second. Brendan Roche, a very good first 3 innings and struck out Steven Ambrosio looking to start this inning, but has run into some trouble as 3 straight have reached. First one to Brendan Smith here is swung on and missed. Brendan could very much use a ground ball to either second or short right about now. Roche stands in, the 0-1 pitch. Just misses, ball 1. So on the season for Connor Rumpf, it's his first RBI. They'll check on the runner Geyer at first. He's back in safely. Brendan Smith has been a phenomenal hitter in their lineup, batting .467. He's driven in 5 this year. And he'll try to do that here to give the Doubledays the lead. 1-1 pitch from Roche, swung on and fouled back. Geyer took a couple steps in the direction of second base, ultimately thought better of it, decided not to go. Luke Geyer has stolen 2 bases this year. He's 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts. Doubledays have not been caught stealing very much. Smith calls for time now. He'll step back into the batter's box. Runners at the corners and 1 out. And the 1-2 pitch from Roche. Swung on and hit on a line and caught by O'Mara for out number 2. A big second out as nobody can advance. A line drive hit right to Connor O'Mara at short. That's out number 2, and it'll bring up Flynn Shoup. Shoup is 0 for 1, flew out to right his first time up. Brendan Roche trying to get out of this, having surrendered just the 1 run. First one to Shoup, and Geyer took off towards second and then headed back toward first. Pitch was outside. So Geyer really dancing towards second. Been a couple times now where he's taken a few steps there and seemed indecisive on whether or not he wants to steal as Shoup flies this one into right and foul. So a pretty right-handed heavy lineup for Auburn. Connor Rumpf is the runner at third for the Doubledays. Luke Geyer at first. And the 1-1 pitch to Shoop is swung on and hit to right field. That's going to get down for a base hit to give Auburn the lead. So an RBI single off the bat of Flynn Shoop, their third hit, all coming in this inning. And with 2 outs, the Doubledays have now struck for 2 in the 4th inning, and they have their first lead of the game. It's 2-1. That one just dropped right into right field as Connor Rumpf scores. So the extra hitter Chase Moore will come to the plate, and the Oilers will have a meeting on the mound. Again, Brendan Roche had a really good start to this game. Sent the Doubledays in order in the first, set down the first 2 in the second, hit Chase Moore with a pitch, but then he was thrown out trying to steal. Another 1-2-3 in the third for Roche. And struck out the first batter of the inning, that being Steven Ambrosio. But since then, it's been tough, with the only out he's gotten a line drive that was hit right to Connor O'Mara at short. So Auburn with runners at first and second, and Chase Moore up. Moore, one of the few Doubledays left-handed batters. First one to him is outside, ball 1. And that pitch that hit Chase Moore back in the second inning, very, very close. That seemed like it just grazed the forearm a little bit. 1-0 to Moore, up high, ball 2. So Rose got to be careful with Braden Michelson coming up. Chase Moore has driven in 7 this year. Tied for the 4th most on the team. That one hit out toward left, and that is caught by Will Watson. So the Doubledays leave 2 on, but they get 3 hits and pick up 2 runs. We'll make our way to the bottom of the 4th. The Auburn Doubledays take a 2-1 lead over the Oilers at Bradner Stadium. Home half of the 4th, Oilers now trailing the Auburn Doubledays 2-1 after a tough top of the 4th inning. Couple of hits, brought in a couple of runs. First pitch here to Antonio Cordero is a ball. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for Olean here in the bottom of the 4th. Cordero 0 for 1, flew out his first time up. Right-hander William Baker III surrendered a run last inning. 1-0 pitch catches the corner, strike 1. But the top and bottom halves of innings have seemed to just mirror each other in this game. As the 1-1 pitch skipped in the dirt, ball 2. The first and second innings for both teams really were dominated by pitching. And you look at what the bottom of the third and the top of the fourth were, with both teams getting some hits and getting some runs. And back and forth we go. 2-1 pitch to Cordero, swung on and pulled down the line. Great stop over at third, long throw on to first, and a nice play by Flynn Shoup over there at the hot corner for out number one. Shoup made a sliding stop and throws on to first for the out. So Jack Painter due up now. Painter drew a 4-pitch walk to lead off the home half of the second. Was thrown out trying to head for second on a pitch that was bobbled behind the plate. Jack swings and pops up the first pitch out of play. Oilers looking to get some more runners on base in this inning. They did a nice job getting them on base, but just got to get the timely hitting going. The 0-1 pitch is low, ball one. Painter swings and fouls off the 1-1 offering. Taking a look at the, again, another look at the PGCBL standings. The Amsterdam Mohawks have taken first place. They've won 7 games in a row, 12-4 overall. After a 5-4 start, as the 1-2 pitch misses low and in for a ball. Surprisingly enough, that is not solely the longest win streak in the PGCBL. The Batavia Muck Dogs have also won 7 straight after a 2-2 start. 2-2 pitch to Jack Painter is low, ball 3. Longest losing streak in the league at the moment belongs to the Geneva Red Wings, who have lost 7 straight. The Newark Pilots picked up their first win of the season after dropping their first 9. Couple of those to Auburn. 3-2 pitch to Painter, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Jack tried chasing one that was a little bit low and strikes out. Well, an efficient game so far for the most part for William Baker. That actually is his first strikeout, which is a bit surprising. The Oilers have done a really nice job to put the ball in play so far tonight. And Cooper Tarley comes to the plate. Tarley flew out to center back in the second inning. First pitch to Cooper is a called strike on the corner. Well, we'll take a look at the other games going on across the league, as we're still in the first half of the season, still somewhat in the early going, as the 0-1 pitch is outside, ball 1. Usually once we get to the first couple days, usually right around July 4th. So when we hit that halfway point, the 1-1 pitch just misses, ball 2. Couple of teams in the West Division in action tonight. The Jamestown Tarp Skunks at home. They trail the Niagara Ironbacks 3-2 in the top of the third, as the 2-1 pitch to Cooper Tarley is high, ball 3. Bottom of the second inning in Batavia, the Muck Dogs going for their 8th straight win, and they're off to a good start, leading the Niagara Falls Americans 4-1, as the 3-1 pitch is up high, so it's a 2-out walk to Cooper Tarley to keep the line moving. Tarley's on base for the first time tonight, and Connor O'Mara comes to the dish. O'Mara's had a good defensive game, is 0 for 1 at the plate. O'Mara struck out looking back in the second. And one other score across the league, top of the second inning in Glens Falls. The Glens Falls Dragons have a 2-1 lead over the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. Tarley goes, the pitch is high, throw down to second is going to hop away. And Tarley with a stolen base. Not a bad throw from Jose Taveras, but that one again, like we saw the one from Brady Smith on Auburn stolen base, again, just came in just a little bit low. So Tarley gets himself in a scoring position with a stolen bag. That is Cooper Tarley's third stolen base of the season. He's 3 for 3. That's an element that the Oilers are really trying to bring in more. Maybe a bit surprising, but they've only stolen 14 bases on the year. And now 16 as they've got 2 tonight, but still surprising that they've only got that many. 1-0 pitch to Cooper, swung on and fouled it off himself. Fouled it off his foot. Fantastic Friday night crowd at Bradner Stadium on $2 night. $2 hot dogs and beverages at the concession stand. Always an Olean favorite. Only wonder if someone's thinking about doing the 999 challenge tonight. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and popped up in foul territory down the left field line. That'll go out of play. Nice catch by young fan over there in foul territory. Cooper Tarley was going with that pitch as well, so he'll have to head back. Of course, if anyone is thinking of doing the 999 challenge tonight, I certainly have pity on them and their large intestine. The 1-2 pitch is just missed, ball 2. Of course, for anybody not familiar, the challenge that has been made popular at some Major League Baseball games is to consume 9 cold ones and 9 hot dogs in 9 innings of play. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. O'Mara strikes out. So the walk doesn't come home to score. The Oilers do get one in scoring position, aren't able to bring any home. We'll make our way to the 5th inning at Bradner Stadium. Oilers trail the Auburn Doubledays 2-1. Top of the 5th inning at Bradner Stadium. Auburn leading Olean 2-1. As Brendan Roche out there for another inning, trying to recover from a Little bit of a rocky fourth inning. First pitch to Braden Michelson is a called strike. Michelson 0 for 1, popped out to lead off the third inning. A one pitch to him is another called strike. So Brendan rolled through the first 3 innings of this game, but 3 hits and 2 runs coming home to score in the top of the fourth gave the Doubledays the lead. The 0-2 pitch to Michelson is swung on and missed. 3 straight right by him. And a good start to this 5th inning. It's a strikeout for Roche. 4th strikeout of the night for Brendan Roche, and a good start to this inning. And now William Ragland III will step up. Even with the rocky last inning, the leadoff man for Auburn has been retired in all 5 innings so far, as the first one is a ball. So all 5 for 5 on leadoff hitters retired. 4 times Roche has struck out the leadoff man in the inning. 1-0 pitch, check swing, he went around, strike 1. The trouble last inning was what came after the strikeout of the 10-spot hitter, Steven Ambrosio. As the next 3 reached, 2 of them scored. 1-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. And again, we looked at before the beginning of the season. You know, we really looked at the numbers that Roche had. They're not what he would want them to be. You know, coming in with an ERA north of 7, and that's definitely not indicative of the quality of pitcher that Brennan is. We saw him pitch some fantastic games for the Oilers last year. 1-2 pitch, swung on and hit on the ground. That'll get through the middle for a base hit. So a 1-out hit for William Ragland. He's on base for the first time this evening. 4th hit of the game for the Doubledays. And that'll bring Jose Taveras, the catcher, to the plate. Taveras grounded out back in the 3rd. That was a ground ball to the shortstop. Rose certainly would not mind another one of those to get himself out of this top half of the 5th. First one is chopped on the ground, but foul over towards Logan Coslin at 3rd. Well, I tell you what, the professional sports world feels calm for the first time all Oilers season. It seemed like just about every game there was either a Stanley Cup playoff game or an NBA playoff game that was going on or something major. Champions have already been decided in those 2 leagues as Roche steps off. Of course, congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes winning their 2nd Stanley Cup. Of course, many Sabres fans will tell you their first legitimate one. 0-1 pitch is low. That's a little bit of a nod to the playoffs that year, 20 years ago, when Carolina won their first Stanley Cup. They beat the Sabres on the way to it. An outcome that probably wouldn't have gone the same way, as the runner at first is thrown out. William Ragland III wandered too far off the first base bag, and a laser from Brendan Roche. That's out number 2. And another out on the base pads. We've seen that a couple of times tonight. And Ragland is caught napping over at first, out number 2. And so Jose Taveras is the man at the plate. One ball and 2 strikes to Taveras, and the pitch from Roche just missed, ball 2. That one did not miss by much. What I was referencing a moment ago was the 06 Eastern Conference Finals. The Sabres had a lot of injuries, and Carolina ended up winning that series. On a great Sabres team, the 2-2 pitch is swung on and hit in the air to center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. So the second straight hit for Auburn and got themselves another base runner out, hitting the Oilers 5-2. All 5 hits coming in the last 2 innings. Of course, the other big final series taking place. NBA champion New York Knicks. I've got some Knicks fans around here, including myself. That was a fun final series to watch. Unless you're a Spurs fan, then I guess probably not. First pitch to Ambrosio's up high. But they won a game. It's not like they were swept. Knicks bringing home their first title in 53 years this year. It has not been that long for the Oilers, which is nice. 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Oilers, of course, in the PGC or in the NYCBL days, won back-to-back titles. 2016 champions, 10-year anniversary of that this year. 1-1 pitch, just misses ball 2. Back in those days, 10 years ago, a young Matt Volz was out in the left field bleachers watching the Oilers win that championship. The 2-1 pitch, check swing, went around, but the ball's going to go back to the backstop. And heading for second is Jose Taveras, so it is strike 2, but pitch that got away allows Taveras to advance. Although, come to think of it, I don't think I was on the third base line for the first one, if I remember correctly, and memory gets fuzzy after a decade or so, but I believe I was seated right down near the tunnel at Bradner Stadium, close to the Oilers dugout for the first championship. 2-2 pitch is maybe a strike. So the home plate umpire, we got to take a look at what just happened. The home plate umpire motioned like he was going to call it a strike and then pulled the arm back. That one seemed like, it's a strike. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to ring him up on that pitch. So it's a full count. Not sure that that's, legal. But the 3-2 pitch from Roche is up high. So it's ball 4, and I don't think, or is it ball 3? So I don't know that the home plate umpire is aware of what the count is, or has been really at any point in this at bat. But it's 3-2 right now, supposedly, and the 3-2 pitch is in there for strike 3. There's the strike 3 call. Little bit delayed, but eventually got it there. So a rare 3-3 count and a strikeout, I guess. Or a 4-3 count and a strikeout, I guess. But either way, that sends us to the home half of the 5th inning. And the Oilers trail Auburn 2-1 here at Bradner Stadium. Bottom of the fifth inning, the Oilers trailing 2-1. Brady Smith will lead off, followed by Logan Coslin and Will Watson. Oilers being out hit 5-2 in the game. First pitch to Brady Smith is a called strike. Brady's had an excellent game behind the plate for the Oilers so far. Smith singled back in the third inning, stole a base and came around to score, and that one hit out to center, and that's caught. Nice play by Riley Ames. He got a good jump on it and makes the catch for out number one. Well, that'll bring Logan Coslin to the plate. Coslin is 0 for 1. Flew out to left his first time up. Well, thinking of the 2015 and 16 championships for the Oilers in the NYCBL days, I'm reminded by my mom watching at home after the 2015 championship, if memory serves correctly, after Austin Bizzle threw out the final pitch to close out the game as the 1-0 pitch misses for ball 2. Which, again, if memory serves correctly, was an infield pop fly. It's been too long for me to remember who caught that, but Bubba Holland, thank you, Abby, our statistician on the call for that one. 2-0 pitch is a called strike. I'm reminded of a celebration involving chocolate syrup being doused on pretty much the entire team on the infield. Which, of course, among many of the adults in the crowd was met with some level of disgust as the 3-1 pitch is swung on and lifted out toward deep left, retreating even further back, and then reaching up is Brendan Smith for out number 2. 11-year-old Matt thought it was the coolest thing in the world and wanted to go out and join him. That was definitely a fun night, and the 2016 title was fun too. That was an incredible season. That's, of course, the 10-year anniversary of the Oilers' second straight NYCBL championship. That 2016 team was pretty much a no doubt an excellent season that year, as Watson lifts this one into deep left center field. Going back is Riley Ames. He'll reach up and make the catch. The Oilers put the ball in the outfield all 3 times, but fly out each time. We'll make our way to the 6th inning here at Bradner Stadium. The Auburn Doubledays leading the Olean Oilers 2-1. To the top of the sixth, we make our way here at Bradner Stadium with Auburn leading Olean 2-1. I'm Matt Volz here on the Olean Oilers live YouTube broadcast. It's a new arm on the mound for Olean, the right-hander Bryson Huar. Misses with the first pitch. Brendan Rose surrendering 2 runs and 5 innings of work. Picking up 5 strikeouts as well. And he gives way to Bryson Huar. As the 1-0 pitch misses for ball 2. Bryson has been very good in the bullpen for the Oilers this year. This is his 4th appearance of the year. Pitched 5 2/3 innings, 10 strikeouts. And he's got a win on his record as well. He's 1-0. 2-0 pitch is off the plate, ball 3. Huar, of course, has the underhand submarine-style pitch delivery. Riley Ames, a strikeout victim back in the first, walked in the fourth, stole a base, and scored a run. 3-0 pitch from Huar, inside, ball 4, and a 4-pitch walk. That is something that you do tend to see happen to relievers from time to time when you come in fresh out of the bullpen. Takes a quick minute to find that strike zone. So a 4-pitch walk to Ames. Crazy enough, that is only the 2nd walk that Bryson Huar has issued this year. Came into play with a strikeout to walk ratio of 10-1. 10 strikeouts, 1 walk coming in. As the first pitch here is a called strike to Connor Rumpf. Rumpf popped out in the first. Singled and scored in the fourth. Runner goes, pitches low, throw down to second is low, and that'll roll into center field. Ames will hop up and head for third, and he's in there safely. So the low throw from Brady Smith scoots into center field. And the Doubledays have a runner at third now with nobody out. So Ames with his 2nd stolen base of the game. Riley now has 8 on the year. He's 8 for 8. Who are taking a look in at the right-handed hitting shortstop Rumpf. 1-1 pitch from Huar, swung on and lifted in the air toward right center field. Tarley going over, as is Buffalo. Buffalo makes the catch, tagging and coming home as Ames. The throw from Buffalo is not going to be in time. A good throw from Buffalo, but very tricky to get the speedy Ames barreling down the line. It's a sacrifice fly, and Auburn takes a 3-1 lead. So 2nd RBI of the game for Connor Rumpf. So that'll bring Luke Guire to the plate. Guire 1 for 2 tonight. Nobody on, 1 out. First pitch to him is a called strike. Guire, the left-handed hitting DH for the Doubledays tonight, grounded out in the first inning, singled in the 4th. Oilers now find themselves trailing by 2. 0-1 pitch is swung on and hit on the ground. That will get through for a base hit. Guire has his 2nd hit of the night, 2 for 3. That one rolling perfectly right up the middle. 6th hit of the game for the Doubledays, and they've got another on with 1 out. So Bryson Huar, who again has been really outstanding in the bullpen for the Oilers so far this season, hitting a little bit of a snag here in this 6th inning. And that'll bring Brendan Smith to the plate. Smith is 0 for 2 tonight. First one from Huar is low. Top of the 6th inning in a game that is right about at the hour-and-a-half mark. Short lead off of first for Guire. And the 1-0 pitch from Huar is low, ball 2. Brendan Smith struck out in the second, lined out sharply to the shortstop, Connor O'Mara, in the fourth. That was in the midst of that two-run rally for Auburn. 2-0 pitch from Huar. Big swing, and he comes up empty. Strike one. No surprise to see Brendan Smith swinging out of his shoes. He's been an excellent hitter for the Doubledays this season, batting .467 with a slugging percentage of .600. He's been very good for them and has driven in 5. The 2-1 pitch swung on and fouled back. This Auburn team that collectively as a unit has hit the ball really well. A .335 batting average and collectively getting on base just shy of 47% of the time. Really good offensive club. 2-2 pitches, low and away. That's going to go to the backstop, and Geyer will head for second. So Geyer able to move up on the pitch that gets away from Brady Smith. And Luke Geyer into scoring position. A full count to Brendan Smith. You got Brendan Smith batting, Brady Smith at the plate. Brady Smith behind the plate, I should say. The 3-2 pitch from Bryson Huar swung on and fouled away down the right field line. The Shadows start to maybe play a little bit of a difference. Again, you start seeing when the sun sets, those Shadows really can play some tricks on outfielders. The 3-2 pitch is swung on and fouled back. Happens a lot when the sun goes down, too. The lights of Bradner Stadium can be tricky. Sometimes you'll see outfielders sort of lose the ball in the lights. Of course, as we're getting later in the year, the summer solstice right around the corner. 3-2 pitch is swung on and chopped on the ground. Slow roller. Coslin gloves, throws to first, and the throw is wide and is going to go into foul territory. Geyer is going to come home to score, and heading into second base is Brendan Smith. So Coslin tried to make the play, and that one just rolling out of reach. A run comes home. Smith in his scoring position, and Auburn's up 4-1. That would have been a really tough play for Coslin to make. I almost wonder if you have to give that an infield hit for Brendan Smith and then the error that allowed the run to score and him to come home. So Brendan Smith is aboard. Again, we'll give him the infield hit in addition to the error. First pitch here to Flynn Shoop is low for a ball. So Smith with a fairly short lead off of second. This has turned into another solid offensive inning for Auburn. And the 1-0 pitch up the middle, base hit. Rounding third and coming home to score is Smith. Tarley's throw home is just not in time. Shoop able to go to second on the throw home. It's an RBI single for Flynn Shoop, and Auburn takes a 5-1 lead. And again, another runner in scoring position. Shoop gets the RBI, and he's able to advance to second. So it's an RBI single. He's able to advance on the throw home. Brendan Smith scores. 3 have come home to score for Auburn in this inning. They now lead 5-1. A rough inning so far for Bryson Huar, which has not been the case for him as that one's hit out to left. That's going to drop for a base hit. They're going to hold Shoop at third. It's another base hit as Chase Moore has reached base for the second time. Auburn's got 9 hits all in the last 3 innings. So runners at the corners now for Braden Michelson. 4 straight hits, including the error. Not boding well for Olean, and now a meeting on the mound to try and calm the nerves of the right-hander Bryson Huar, who has run into a great deal of trouble here in this top of the 6th inning. Again, a game where the Oilers took a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd after both starting pitchers started off the game really well. But 2 in the 4th and so far 3 in the 6th for the Doubledays has opened up a 5-1 lead. So the home plate umpire comes out to break up the meeting on the mound. Huar is going to stay in the game to face the first baseman, Braden Michelson, who is 0 for 2 this evening. Michelson batting .250. His on-base percentage is excellent. He gets on base nearly 53% of the time, a .526 on-base percentage. Again, that's another thing that Auburn's offense has done really well. Even if they're not hitting, they can find a lot of different ways to get on base. Runner goes, the pitch is a strike, snap throw to third, and they got him. What a great throw from Brady Smith as Flynn Shoop wandering too far off the bag. A huge mistake. Chase Moore snags second, but that's out number 2. That is a big mistake on the base paths. That's out number 2. Can't believe Shoop would wander that far off. It's a stolen base for Chase Moore, but the runner at third to be out for out number 2. 0-1 pitch is low, ball 1. And it's a gutsy decision to go for the snap throw down to third. But Brady Smith, as we've seen multiple times just tonight, but really all season, Brady Smith, a great arm behind the plate, able to make the throw. So the 1-1 pitch to Michelson is cut on and missed. Braden Michelson popped out in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. Huar gives a look in, and the 1-2 to Michelson. Fouled away, gets a piece of it to stay alive. We'll take a look after this at bat, perhaps in the next half inning of the scores across the league. Oilers on the road tomorrow, as are the Auburn Doubledays. 1-2 pitch from Huar, swung on and chopped on the ground. Jack Painter's got that, and he'll step on the bag for out number 3. Well, a 3-run inning, some big hitting. Oilers are able to get out of it. No further damage done past the 3. We'll make our way to the home half of inning number 6. Auburn opens up a 5-1 lead over the Oilers at Bradner Stadium. 10, 1, and 2 hitters leading off for the Oilers in the bottom of the 6th, and the lineup has some work to do, trailing 5-1. Matt Buffalo will lead things off. First pitch to him is low, ball 1. Oilers being out hit 9-2 so far in this game. And they haven't had a hit since the inning where they scored their run. Bat was back in the 3rd inning as Buffalo swings and fouls this one. Matt Buffalo was walked back in the 3rd. He had a single by Brady Smith and an RBI double from Will Watson. Those are the Oilers' 2 hits tonight. The 1-1 pitch swung on and fouled back. Oilers have also committed a couple of errors in this game. 5 runs on 9 hits, no errors for Auburn. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors for Olean so far. 1-2 pitch to Buffalo, swung on and hit in the air toward left, but that is caught by Brendan Smith for out number 1. It's certainly not for a lack of putting the ball in play. The Oilers have hit a lot into the outfield, but a very good night for all 3 outfielders for the Doubledays. In fact, the last 4 Oiler batters all retired on flyouts to either left or center field. A lot of fly ball outs in this game. 3 strikeouts for William Baker III on the mound. First pitch to Dana Williams, low and in, ball 1. Williams is 0 for 2. Flew out in the first, flew out in the 3rd. Dana batting an even 200. 1-0 pitch is a called strike. Take a look at some scores across the PGCBL in just a moment. Jamestown trailing big to Niagara. The 1-1 pitch is low, ball 2. It's the bottom of the 5th inning over in Jamestown. The Niagara Ironbacks have a 9-2 lead over the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Some other scores, bottom of the 4th, the Batavia Muck Dogs leading the Niagara Falls Americans 5-1. 2-1 pitch swung on and missed. Batavia, of course, looking to keep their win streak rolling. They've won 7 in a row. Trying to win an 8th straight. Top of the 4th inning in Glens Falls. After the Glens Falls Dragons had a 2-1 lead over the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs earlier, Mohawk Valley scored 6 unanswered. They lead that game 7-2. As the 2-2 pitch is swung on and fouled back. And one other game going on. Bottom of the 2nd inning in Oneonta. The Boonville Lumberjacks and Oneonta Outlaws are even at 2 apiece. And Auburn leading Olean 5-1 here. 2-2 pitch. Williams swings and misses. He strikes out. 4th strikeout for William Baker. First 2 have been set down here in the bottom of the 6th. And Braden Rader comes to the plate. Rader 0 for 2. Grounded out in the 1st, popped out in the 3rd. So Baker, again, who came into the game with really solid stats, has pitched very well for Auburn tonight. The first pitch is in there for a called strike. Oiler lineup just trying to get something going. Check swing. Did Rader go? He did. Strike 2. Rader trying to extend the inning to the DH Antonio Cordero. Baker stands in. The 0-2 pitch to Rader. Low and inside. As the sun begins to set here at Bradner Stadium, and shadows and lights may come into play. The 1-2 pitch just misses. Oh, a couple of the infielders for Auburn thought that was strike 3. They took a couple of steps back towards their dugout. Ultimately, it's ball 2 and Rader still alive. 2-2 pitch from Baker, inside and low, ball 3. Oilers are looking for their first base runner since the 4th inning. Cooper Tarley was walked and stole a base back in the 4th. Since then, 6 in a row set down, and the 3-2 pitch misses, ball 4. So the Oilers get a 2-out base runner. And Rader is on base for the first time in the game, so that'll bring Antonio Cordero to the plate. Cordero 0 for 2. Fly out in the first, ground out in the 4th. Got Antonio, the DH for the Oilers tonight. He's still looking for his first hit as an Oiler. Trying to bring the Oilers a little bit closer before it gets too much later in the game. Snap throw back down to first, a really close play. Rader barely makes it back in safely. For both teams, we've seen some outs on the base paths. Rader a pretty short lead off of first. 1-0 pitch is low, ball 2. Cordero standing in, and Baker taking a look again. Short lead off of first. The 2-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. So Cordero trying to keep this going. He's ahead in the count as he takes the 2-1 pitch low and away, ball 3. Three balls and a strike. And the 3-1 swung on and fouled back. So full count to Cordero. Back-to-back full counts against the right-hander Baker. As the Oilers really trying to see if they can make him work and chase him from the game. He's been very good so far. 3-2 pitch to Cordero. Strike 3 called. Cordero thought it was ball 4. Ultimately, he's rung up on strike 3. And that's all for the 6th inning. Well, the Oilers do get one on. And don't bring anybody home to score. We will make our way to the 7th. Oilers trailing Auburn 5-1. Inning here at Bradner Stadium. The Oilers trailing the Auburn Doubledays 5-1. Bryson Huar out there for another inning of work, and he'll face the 8, 9, and 10 hitters. William Ragland III, the second baseman, leads off, and he swings the first pitch and sends it underneath the glove of Jack Painter, a base hit. Leadoff man is on. That's 10 hits for Auburn in the game. Attacking on the first pitch, Ragland has his second hit of the night. He's 2 for 3. So beware of Ragland. He runs well at first. Remember, he was picked off earlier in the game. That one hit to right field. That's down for a base hit. Ragland around second. He's going to head for third. So back-to-back hits, 2 pitches and 2 hits as Tavares singles to right. 11 hits now for Auburn. And rough going for Huar so far, and it continues in the early going of the 7th. And he has looked really, really good. Looked really good so far this season, but unfortunately just has not been the case tonight. First pitch here to Steven Ambrosio, misses for ball 1. Ambrosio 0 for 2. Struck out looking both times. 1-0 pitch low and inside, ball 2. Oilers out hit 11-2 now in the game. Runners at the corners, nobody out, and a 2-0 pitch from Huar. That one catches his own for a strike. So Jose Tavares, the Auburn catcher, is aboard at first. Pretty short lead for him. Again, would not expect to see him take off towards second. The 2-1 pitch is a called strike. As that breeze again continues to pick up a bit. As Tavares heads for second and is in safely. Just able to sneak his way into scoring position. So that'll go in the books as a stolen base for the Auburn catcher. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Steven Ambrosio. And the pitch from Huar. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. A big first out as Ambrosio finds his way to the golden sombrero, as he is 0 for 3 with a triplet of strikeouts. So the top of the order comes back up. It's Riley Ames. So Riley Ames, the leadoff batter, fouls off the first pitch. Ames has reached base twice in the game after striking out in the first. Ames walked, stole a base, and scored in the 4th. Walked, stole a base, and scored in the 6th. 0-1 from Huar, low. It's been tricky for Huar to keep the Doubledays off of the base paths, giving up a handful of hits. Some well-placed base hits right over the infield. 1-1 pitch is outside, ball 2. So if Riley Ames does find his way on base with nobody in front of him, definitely look out. He is a phenomenal base stealer. He's got 8 on the year, including 2 tonight. 2-1 from Huar, just misses. A very close miss, and it's ball 3. No ABS challenge in the PGCBL. The automatic balls and strikes. It's introduced to Major League Baseball this year. 3-1 pitch from Huar, swung on and fouled down the first base line. So Huar has Ames at 3-2 after getting a big strikeout of Steven Ambrosio. Connor Rumpf waiting on deck. He has brought in 2 runs tonight. One with an RBI single, one with a sac fly. 3-2 pitch from Huar, swung on and pulled down the line. Coslin's got it, steps on the bag at third, and what do we have here? So Ames reaches. So Ames reaches at first. It looked, at least from our vantage point, like he had stepped on the bag and Ragland was at third, or it looked like he had tagged Ragland heading back into third, but ultimately, I guess they say Ragland was safe over at third. So that'll be an infield hit for Riley Ames, and the bases are loaded. So interesting, the scoring there. It looked like Ragland was out over at third. He's ultimately safe, so it's a fielder's choice, and that one goes back to the backstop, and Ragland is going to come home to score. So the rough keeps getting rougher for the Oilers. It's now 6-1 Auburn, as the first pitch to Connor Rumpf sails away. Ames heads to second base, as does Taveras to third. Ragland coming home. As the 1-0 pitch catches the zone for strike one. Again, it's been a tough outing for Huar in a game that was very close through the first few innings. I mean, going into the 6th inning, it was a 2-1 game. The Doubledays have really opened it up. The 1-1 pitch is low ball 2. And, of course, a big part of that is that they've out-hit the Oilers 11-2, with all 11 hits coming in the 4th inning or later. Auburn only had 1 base runner until there was 1 out in the 4th inning. And that base runner was thrown out trying to steal second, as that pitch goes back to the backstop. Taveras comes home to score. Ames to third. That's ball 3, and it just keeps getting worse for the Oilers. It's now 7-1 as Taveras comes home to score. Riley Ames to third. Three balls and a strike to Connor Rumpf, and the 3-1 pitch misses for ball 4. So a 1-out walk, and the inning just keeps on rolling. And again, this has been an uncharacteristically poor performance for Bryson Huar. Bryson has been fantastic before tonight, but just a really rough outing for him, and that's going to be all for him this evening, as the Oilers will go to their bullpen and bring in their third pitcher of the night. And they'll bring in the Olean High School. The pitcher for the Huskies in high school, Austin Miles, the right-hander. Miles going to be playing for SUNY Niagara next year. And, of course, finishing up his senior year at Olean High School. So Austin Miles steps into the game, and while he completes his warm-up tosses, we'll step aside. Auburn leading Olean 7-1. So Austin Miles, the Olean High School pitcher, delivers his first pitch. It's a strike. And Connor Rumpf will snag second base. Miles, right-hander, number one, still at Olean High School. Miles, that one swung on and hit down the right field line. That's going to drop for a base hit. One will score. Here comes another. And it's a 9-1 Doubledays lead on a 2-run single from Luke Geyer. The 12th hit of the game. 4th run of the inning. Auburn leads this game now 9-1. As Ames and Rumpf both come home to score. First pitch to Brendan Smith misses for ball one. Brendan Smith is 1 for 3 in the game so far as the 1-0 pitch misses for ball two. Struck out in the second, lined out in the fourth. Singled and scored in the sixth. As that one is swung on and hit to deep left center field. That's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Geyer rounding third. He's going to come home to score. The throw home from O'Mara is in time. There's a nice play by the Oiler defense. A relay home. And Luke Geyer is thrown out trying to score. It's a double for Brendan Smith. But out number two and the run doesn't score. Nice throw by O'Mara. Cooper Tarley with a nice throw in from center as well. So the first one from Austin Miles here is a called strike. Miles gives a look behind him. The 0-1 pitch is a called strike. Austin attacking the strike zone. Flintshoop 2 for 3 tonight. And the 0-2 from Miles. Strike 3 called. He got him. So Austin Miles does a nice job to retire the side, but 4 runs cross the board for the Doubledays. And it's time to stretch here at Bradner Stadium. Auburn leading Olean now 9-1. Middle of the lineup due up for the Oilers in the bottom of the 7th, and they've got a lot of work to do. So William Baker is again on the mound. Oilers are going to go to their bench, and Denny Martin will come in to hit in place of Jack Painter, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. So Denny Martin, a left-handed bat wearing number 32. A one pitch to him was swung on and foul back. So taking a look at Denny, a native of Oakland, Maine, going into his freshman year at Stonehill. That one swung on and chopped foul. Denny making his first appearance for the Oilers off the bench. The 0-2 pitch misses for ball one. So we'll see Martin followed by Cooper Tarley and Connor O'Mara. 1-2 pitch, high ball two. Oilers being out hit 13-2. Again, they have not had a hit since back in the third inning. Will Watson's RBI double, the last hit of the game that the Oilers have had. 2-2 pitch is low and inside, ball three. Had one base runner last inning as Braden Rader drew a two-out walk, but the strikeout of Antonio Cordero erased that. The 3-2 pitch. Strike three called. He froze him on the inside corner. Another strikeout for William Baker, who has pitched a phenomenal game. That's out number one. So Denny Martin is down on strikes, and Cooper Tarley comes to the plate. Tarley flew out to center back in the second inning, walked and stole a base in the fourth. They'll look to get something going. Of course, we know the power that Cooper possesses in his bat. Little check swing on the first pitch and bounces it foul off the bat. Strike one. Oilers have really struggled to do a whole lot against William Baker III, who has pitched a very nice game as Charlie swings and crushes this one out to deep right center, but that's going to stay in the ballpark, and that is caught by Riley Ames for the second out. Again, Oilers as a team have hit the ball into the outfield a lot tonight, but a good night for the, especially in left and center. Brendan Smith in left and Riley Ames in center. Both have had really great nights. And Connor O'Mara steps up. O'Mara 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Struck out looking in the second, swinging in the fourth. First one to him here is a called strike. Trying to keep the line moving for the catcher Brady Smith, who has one of Olean's 2 hits tonight and scored the only run. 0-1 pitch is low and inside and hops back to the backstop. So O'Mara stands back in, and again, the Oilers just now having a tough time even getting on base as the 1-1 pitch is up high, ball two. That's not something that we have really seen much of this year. The Oilers' offense has been very good for the most part this year. The 2-1 pitch is pulled down the line, foul. But tonight, just running into a fantastic game pitched by William Baker III. Again, Baker came in with a 2-0 record, and if this score holds, he'll move to 3-0. Definitely a caliber pitcher of a PGCBL All-Star. The 2-2 pitch skipped in the dirt, ball three. O'Mara's made a couple of good defensive plays at short tonight, but trying to get on base for the first time. Three-two pitch from Baker, swung on and pulled down the line, foul. So he'll get another shot at a 3-2 two-out pitch here in the bottom of the seventh. On a beautiful night at Bradner Stadium and a really good crowd for $2 night. But the Oilers just haven't been able to get a whole lot going since that third inning. 3-2 pitch to O'Mara is low. Check swing did not go. It's ball four and a two-out walk. So O'Mara on base for the first time tonight. And they got a two-out walk last inning. We're not able to cash in. And we'll see what Brady Smith can do. Smith singled, stole a base, and scored back in the third inning. Flew out to center back in the fifth. Now a meeting on the mound. As William Baker III, who has, again, really rolled through. The Oilers took a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the third, thanks to an RBI double off the bat of Will Watson. And nobody has gotten a hit for the Oilers since. Couple of walks drawn. Again, the two-out walk by Connor O'Mara right there. A few walks drawn. But ultimately, the Oilers have just had a really tough time getting on base against William Baker III. Brady Smith will try to change that. Brady's had a solid game behind the plate. And, of course, scored Olean's only run back in the third inning. Short lead off first for O'Mara. First pitch is low. Good job by Jose Taveras to keep it in front. O'Mara has good speed at first. We'll see if he thinks about it. I would doubt it, considering, in fact, the Oilers just need base runners. The 1-0 pitch misses ball two. So Smith stands back in. Baker tries to regain control. 2-0 pitch. Inside, ball three. So maybe some difficulty here for Baker. He's falling behind 3-0. 3-0 pitch to Smith. There's a called strike. Certainly don't blame Brady for taking that pitch on a 3-0 pitch. You're, definitely taking anything that's close. Give the rest of your lineup a shot with runners on. 3-1 pitch is swung on and fouled away. 3-2. And that one might have fouled off of the catcher Taveras, so he's going to walk that one off just a bit. But a full count for Brady Smith. Home plate umpire goes out and has a chat with Baker. A little bit of activity in the Doubledays bullpen, getting a couple of relief pitchers starting to work towards getting loose. Looks like they've got one warming up now. A right-hander throwing in their pen. O'Mara at first, 3-2 with 2 outs to Brady Smith. And the pitch from Baker. There goes O'Mara. Ball four and a walk to Smith. So back-to-back walks after the first 2 were set down. Maybe the Oilers can get something going here with 2 outs. So Logan Coslin will come up. He is 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts toward left. And there is a right-hander warming in the bullpen for Auburn that appears to be number 38, Sam McKay. First pitch to Logan Coslin, misses for ball one. Now this is where the Oilers, who as a unit have been very selective and smart not chasing too much outside of the zone this year. O'Mara breaks for third. Throw down to third is high. A risky steal, and it works out. The pitch was a ball. O'Mara snags third. So an interesting decision, but works out for him. Connor's got now 2 stolen bases on the year. He's 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts. Runners at the corners. And a 2-0 offering to Logan Coslin. And the pitch. Strike called. Oilers just trying to see if maybe in this inning you can get something cooking, maybe get a couple of home. 2-1 pitch is high, ball 3. Coslin stands back in. He's ahead 3-1. Be taking this one for sure. 3-1 pitch swung on and popped up in shallow center. This is going to be caught by the shortstop Rumpf, and a quiet end after back-to-back walks as the Oilers leave 2 on and 1 in scoring position. We'll make our way to the 8th inning here at Bradner Stadium. Auburn leading Olean 9-1. Top of the 8th inning, Chase Moore leading off against the right-hander Austin Miles takes the first pitch for a ball. Oilers drew a couple of 2-out walks in the bottom of the 7th, but were not able to cash either in as the 1-0 pitch finds the zone for strike 1. Miles deals a 1-1. That one catches the outside corner, strike 2. Oilers will see the 6, 7, and 8 hitters come to the plate. Chase Moore at the plate right now, followed by Braden Michelson and William Ragland III. Moore swings and pulls this one down the first base line. Good stop there at first, and an underhand throw in time. Again, that is Denny Martin at first after replacing Jack Painter. So a ground out off of Moore's bat by the 3-1 variety is how we get the first out of the 8th inning. So again, that is Denny Martin at first base in place of Jack Painter. Austin Miles on the mound. First pitch to Braden Michelson is low for a ball. Michelson 0 for 3 in the game. Popped out in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th, grounded out in the 6th. And Michelson is plunked by this one, so he'll reach. So the 1-0 pitch catches a piece of Michelson. He's on base for the first time in the game. And William Ragland III comes in now. Ragland is 2 for 3. Couple of singles in the game, and he swings and sends this one out to right field. That's going to drop in front of Buffalo for a base hit. The 14th hit of the night for the Auburn Doubledays. Attacking on the first pitch for the second straight at bat and singling for the second straight at bat is William Ragland III. So Jose Taveras will come to the plate. Taveras 2 for 3 as well. First and second, one out. First pitch to him from Austin Miles is up high, ball one. Michelson at second, Ragland at first. Michelson dancing way off the second base bag. The 1-0 pitch to Taveras is low, ball two. Taveras grounded out in the third, singled in the fifth, singled, stole a base, and scored in the seventh. 2-0 pitch is swung on and hit out to deep left center field. Tarley is there. He'll make the catch for out number 2. So Cooper Tarley, a nice job to retreat on a fly ball hit to deep left center field. And Taveras is out for the second out of the top half of the 8th. So Steven Ambrosio will come to bat, or it looks like it looks like Auburn is going to go to their bench after an 0 for 3 night for Ambrosio. First one to him is a called strike. One swung on and missed, strike 2. That is Teddy Monahan, who is batting in Ambrosio's spot. So 0-2 the count to the pinch hitter Monahan. 0-2 offering from Miles, low, ball one. So Teddy, a native of Wayne, Pennsylvania, plays for the University of Rochester. 1-2 pitch is lifted in the air toward left. That's really deep. That's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. 1 run comes home. Stopping at third is Ragland. It's an RBI double for the pinch hitter Teddy Monahan, and Auburn has a 10-1 lead. Their 15th hit of the night. They started hitting in the 4th inning and have not stopped since. Monahan picks up the RBI double. So Riley Ames will come to the plate. As Michelson scores, first pitch to Ames is a strike. Second and third are the runners. Ragland at third, Monahan at second. And 0-2 now the count on Riley Ames. He's had himself an excellent game, scored 3 runs. 0-2 pitch is low, ball one. He's also stolen 2 bases. And a team high 8 stolen bags now. 1-2 pitch, low and away, ball 2. Good job by Brady Smith to keep that in front. Well, if Auburn scores anymore, Olean's going to find themselves in a situation where they've got to score in the bottom of the 8th to keep the game going. But that's not going to be the case as the 2-2 pitch is caught on and missed, and Ames strikes out. We'll make our way to the bottom of the 8th. 1 more run, a couple more hits for Auburn. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Doubledays lead the Oilers 10-1. Bottom of the 8th inning at Bradner Stadium, Oilers down 10-1, and the man at the plate is the one who drove in the Oilers' run back in the third. That is the left fielder, Will Watson. He's going to square to bunt, but pulls the bat back in time. It's ball one. We'll see Watson followed by Matt Buffalo and the extra hitter, Dana Williams. It looks like the Oilers are going to go to their bench as instead of Buffalo. That one is hit on the ground to third. Throw is in time to first, a ground out off of Watson's bat, 1 out. So the Oilers will go to their bench and bring in Jackson Custer. Custer will bat in place of Buffalo. Matt Buffalo walked in the third and flew out in the sixth in his 2 plate appearances as Custer swings at the first pitch and sends this in the air toward right field. That is playable for Teddy Monahan. He'll make the catch for out number 2. So we've only seen 3 pitches. And already 2 outs. So Dana Williams will come to the plate now. Dana Williams 0 for 3, flew out in the first, flew out in the third, struck out in the sixth. First pitch to him, here's a called strike on the inside corner. Williams standing in again. It's William Baker still on the mound. First, the 0-1 pitch to Dana Williams is high, ball 1. Excellent night for William Baker, the third on the mound. And the Oilers took the lead. They took a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the third thanks to an RBI double from Will Watson. Just have not been able to get anything going since. 1-1 pitch swung on and fouled back. And again, as a matter of fact, that was the last hit for the Oilers. Was that Will Watson RBI double back in the third? Nothing doing since then. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dana Williams. And the pitch to him swung on and missed. Dana strikes out. A 1-2-3 8th inning and continuing an incredible night on the mound for William Baker III. We're heading to the 9th inning here at Bradner Stadium. Auburn Doubledays leading the Olean Oilers 10-1. Ninth inning at Bradner Stadium as the Oilers trail the Auburn Doubledays 10-1. And Connor Rumpf leads things off for Auburn against the right-hander Austin Miles. The Olean Husky delivers the first pitch. That's inside, ball 1. Doubledays have out hit the Oilers 15-2 in this game. Connor Rumpf has been on base twice, scored both times, has driven in a couple of runs as well. 1-0 pitch misses low, ball 2. 2-0 pitch is skipped in the dirt, ball 3. This again, it's, looked in the third inning like it was going to be a pitcher's duel between Brendan Roche and William Baker. Baker has just rolled in this game. Bryson Huar ran into some struggles as the 3-0 pitch is a called strike. Austin Miles gave up a run last inning as the 3-1 pitch is swung on and fouled away. Count goes full to Rumpf. It'll be followed by Rumpf. He'll be followed by Luke Geyer and Brendan Smith. 3-2 pitch from Miles is swung on and fouled away. He'll get another shot. Temperature has dropped a little bit as the sun has continued to set. We passed the 9 o'clock hour. The 3-2 pitch swung on and chopped on the ground to third. Coslin's got it. Throws on to first in time for out number 1. So a 5-3 ground out off of Rumpf's bat is the first out of the 9th inning. That'll bring up the DH Luke Geyer. Geyer's had a very good night after popping out in the first, or after grounding out in the first, I should say. Geyer singled in the 4th, singled and scored in the 6th. Drove in 2 runs with a single in the 7th. Was thrown out trying to score as the first pitch misses high, ball 1. One-zero pitch misses, ball 2. Miles into the windup, and the 2-0 pitch to Geyer, low, ball 3. Falling behind 3-0. We haven't really seen too much of that. Miles has had some solid composure. 3-0 pitch to Geyer inside, ball 4, a 4-pitch, 1-out walk. And Luke Geyer is on base for the 4th straight time. That'll bring Brendan Smith to the plate. Brendan Smith has been on base twice. Struck out in the 2nd, lined out sharply to the shortstop Connor O'Mara in the 4th. Singled and scored in the 6th, doubled in the 7th. First pitch to him, here's a called strike. Haven't seen a ground ball double play in the game yet. For the purposes of the Oilers, this would be a good time for one. 0-1 pitch, strike 2. So Smith falling behind 0-2. Again, a short lead at first for Geyer. Not a big base stealer. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. He rung him up at the bottom of the zone. Smith not happy at all with that call. But it's strike 3, and Miles picks up the strikeout. Austin Miles gets his 2nd K. And that is the 2nd out of the inning. That'll bring Flynn Shoop to the plate. Shoop is 2 for 4 in the game. And now he'll call time as some rolled away from the dugout there, from the bullpen. Flynn Shoop with a pair of singles in the game was thrown out trying to score. He's got an RBI as well. First pitch to Shoop is inside, ball 1. Fly out in the 2nd, RBI single in the 4th, RBI single in the 6th, and a strikeout looking in the 7th. 1-0 pitch is swung on and fouled back. 1-1 strike to the right-handed hitting Shoop. The 1-1 pitch, low, went around, strike two. Appeal down to the infield umpire, and he did go around. It's strike two. As the runner breaks, Geyer heading for second. The 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled away. And Flynn Shoop, the native of Petaluma, California. 1-2 pitch to him, just misses. That one just barely not finding the zone. It's ball two. So Geyer took off on one of the last pitches. We'll see if he does that here. It's a bit surprising that he did. The 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled back. Flynn Shoop over at third for the Doubledays tonight. As a team, Auburn has had a very good defensive game, supporting their pitcher, William Baker, who has pitched very well tonight. 2-2 pitch from Miles, swung on and lifted in the air towards center. Cooper Tarley is there. He's got it for out number three. And with that, we make our way to the home half of the ninth inning. Well, Oilers down by 9. You never know. They've got 3 outs to work with, trying to see if they can make this game a little bit closer or maybe make some magic happen. They trail the Doubledays 10-1, heading to the bottom of the ninth. All right, here we go. Bottom of the ninth. Oilers trying to see if they can make some magic happen. A new arm is on the mound as Braden Rader will lead off. The 2, 3, and 4 batters will come to the plate. It is the right-hander Tristan Roca for Auburn on to close out the game. 8 incredible innings for William Baker III. First one here to Braden Rader is low. Braden has reached base once. He walked back in the 6th. Other than that, a ground out and pop out on his stat line tonight. The 1-0 pitch misses for ball 2. So the man on the mound, Tristan Roca, native of Mineola, Florida, pitches for CBCC Catonsville. 2-0 pitch misses, ball 3. So Roca has pitched 3 1/3 innings in total, surrendered a couple of runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA of 5.4. This is 4th game pitched. 3-0 pitch, strike called. Certainly not a bad take from Rader. Well over 100 pitches for William Baker III. What was a very good game. 8 innings of 1-run ball. 3-1 pitch is up high, ball 4, and the leadoff man is on. Once again, you never know. I mean, baseball's not a timed game, so crazier things have happened, but Braden Rader has reached base, the leadoff man. And now the DH, Antonio Cordero, will come to the plate again. Cordero looking for his first hit as an Oiler. He is 0 for 3 tonight with a fly out in the first, ground out in the 4th, and a strikeout in the 6th. First one to him here, just misses, ball 1. Now this is where the Oilers could, at the very least, make Tristan Roca work out of the bullpen. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. At the very least, see if you can't get a run home. Pretty short lead off of first for Braden Rader. And now they're going to have a conversation between Taveras and Roca on the mound to see exactly how they want to pitch to Cordero. Denny Martin on deck. He's 0 for 1 in the game. So Taveras heads back behind the plate. A 1-1 pitch to the DH, Cordero. And the pitch from Roca inside, ball 2. And we've talked a handful of times this season about how the Oilers have been really good at not chasing pitches outside of the zone. They've had a lot of gutsy takes that have worked out for them. 2-1 pitches in there for a strike. Again, Cordero in the same spot, not wanting to chase things outside of the zone. But going to have to be careful here with 2 strikes. 2-2 offering to Cordero. Low. Ball 3. Couldn't find it. And Rader's going to take off for second, and he's going to be in there without a throw. Jose Taveras had no idea where the ball was. It was in the dirt in front of him, but Rader's going to snag second, and the Oilers have one in scoring position. So a full count to Cordero with a runner at second. Trying to see if you can maybe get something in the 9th inning started. 3-2 pitch to Cordero. Low, ball 4. And Rader's going to break for third. The throw down there is going to not be in time. The tag just missed him. Boy, Rader looked like he was dead to rights heading into third with the ball in the dirt. But ultimately it works out. Rader heads for third. And it's a walk. Oilers have 2 on now. So Rader at third, Cordero at first, with Denny Martin at the plate. First one to Denny is swung on and fouled away. Denny 0 for 1, coming in off the bench for Jack Painter. He struck out looking back in the 7th. And the 0-1 pitch is inside. Ball 1. So back-to-back walks to start this bottom of the 9th inning for Braden Rader and Antonio Cordero. 1-1 pitch. Big swing. And he comes up empty. Strike 2. Cooper Tarley waiting on deck for the Oilers. Maybe see if they can't start something. But Denny Martin's got to come back from down 1-2 here. Pitch from Roca. Swung on and hit in the air to deep center field. That is over the head of Riley Ames. A run's going to come home to score. Rounding third and coming home is Cordero. Heading for third is Denny Martin. The throw is going to be up the line, and Martin is safe on a 2-run triple. A 2-run triple. The Oilers have their first hit since the third inning. 2 come home to score, and there's still nobody out. How about that? Denny Martin just sent that one over the head of Riley Ames. A 2-run triple to score Raider and Cordero. And obviously the Oilers lineup still has a lot of work to do, but at the very least the game just got a lot more interesting. First pitch to Cooper Charlie is a strike called on the inside corner. And that, of course, made more so by the fact that there's still nobody out. So Charlie's got to find a way to drive in Martin from third. 0-1 pitch outside, ball 1. There is another right-hander warming up in the Auburn bullpen in case this game gets a little bit too close for comfort. Oilers trail 10-3. 1-1 pitch to Charlie. Inside, almost hit him. But he takes ball 2. Charlie has reached base once tonight. He walked back in the 4th inning, stole a base as well. Trying to find a way to score Denny Martin from third. 2-1 pitch to Charlie. Swung on and popped up foul. That'll go out of play. Charlie getting a piece of that to stay alive. Connor O'Mara, the shortstop, waiting on deck. Roca taking a look in, has the sign he wants. Martin short lead off of third. 2-2 pitch to Charlie. Swung on and hit to short. Throw to first is going to hop in the dirt and not in time. Charlie beat it down the line. Run was going to score anyways, but Charlie beats it out, and it's 10-4 now. An infield hit for Cooper Charlie. And still nobody out. Well, that one was going to be on the... Now the coaching staff is going to come out and have a conversation. That looked more like an error, as Charlie was going to be... Charlie just beat that. Now the umpires are going to have a conversation. From my vantage point, again, our press box looks right down over top of the first base bag. Even if I'm wearing Oilers, and they do call him safe, from our vantage point, it looked like he beat it. I mean, because the throw was bounced, Charlie able to beat that. Even if Charlie was out, the run still would have scored. But the Oilers have a base runner, still nobody out, and now only trail by 6. Again, a lot of work left to be done, but you never know. So Connor O'Mara comes up now, runner at first, and nobody out. And again, Charlie's got really good speed at first. O'Mara swings and sends that one foul. So the first 4 have reached in the bottom of the 9th, as the Oilers try and, at the very least, make this score a little bit closer. Cooper Charlie has stolen 2 bases this year. And faked that he was going to go. O'Mara pops it up in foul territory off the third base side, but that's going to go out of play. O'Mara behind 0-2, trying to keep himself alive at the at-bat and keep the line moving for the Oilers in the bottom of the 9th. See if Charlie thinks about darting towards second. taking a few steps that way. 0-2 pitch. Low. Ball 1. Tarley heads back to first as Tavares got to it in time. Connor O'Mara started the game with back-to-back strikeouts, but walked and stole a base back in the 7th. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch from Roca inside nearly hit him, and it's ball 2. So from 0-2 to 2-2 for O'Mara, Brady Smith, the catcher, who scored the Oilers' first run back in the 3rd inning, waiting on deck. 2-2 pitch, Tarley takes off. O'Mara swings and sends this one to right field. That's a base hit. Tarley around second. He's going to hold up at third. O'Mara races into second with a double. And again, don't hold your breath, but don't go away. O'Mara with a double. And Brady Smith coming to the plate. 2nd and 3rd. And the biggest part of that, there's still nobody out in this bottom of the 9th. The hit and run works to perfection as Tarley was off with the pitch. And a base hit to right for O'Mara. And now the catcher, Brady Smith, comes to the plate. I tell you what, if Brady Smith rips an extra base hit here, this game gets really interesting. First pitch is a called strike. Well, at the very least, no matter how this game ends, you certainly can't question the resolve and determination of the Oilers. 0-1 pitch is inside, ball 1. Certainly an excellent job by the Olean offense to not back down and put themselves in an interesting spot here in the bottom of this inning. 1-1 pitch to Brady. Strike 2. Just couldn't hold up. Smith not able to swing the bat there. You're in a spot where a base hit almost definitely scores too. You've got very good speed on the base paths. 1-2 pitch to Brady. And that hit him. That hits Brady Smith. The bases are loaded. Oilers are still down by 6, but they've got the bases loaded. There's still nobody out. The first 6 batters of the inning have all reached. And everybody at Bradner Stadium is looking around at each other thinking there's no way this could actually happen, right? Now they're going to have a meeting on the mound. They may pull Roca out of the game. I wouldn't be surprised. Logan Kozlin's going to bat with the bases loaded and nobody out. Again, Oilers are still down by 6. But you're in a spot where a base hit makes this game very, very interesting. This is unreal. Braden Rader walked to start the inning. Antonio Cordero walked after him. A 2-run triple for Denny Martin off the bench made it 10-3. Cooper Tarley reached on an error that allowed another run to score. Connor O'Mara with a double that advanced Tarley to third, and then Brady Smith hit by a pitch. And William Baker has got to be getting a little bit nervous in that dugout. He pitched 8 outstanding innings in this game. The bases are loaded for Logan Kozlin, and he takes the first pitch low. Kozlin 0 for 3. He's put the ball in play all 3 times. 1-0 pitch to Kozlin. Inside, ball 2. That one was very, very close to hitting Logan Kozlin. So he's in the driver's seat here, ahead 2-0. Roca taking a look over at third. 2-0 pitch to Kozlin. High, ball 3. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Will Watson on deck. This is unreal. 3-0. If you're Logan Kozlin, Don't even bring the bat to the plate for the next 2 pitches. 3-0 pitch. Oh, it hit him. It hits Coslin. A run scores. It's a 5-run game. This is unbelievable. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this. This is unbelievable. A hit by pitch, a second straight hit by pitch. Tarley comes home to score. O'Mara to third. Brady Smith to second. So here's the crazy thing. If that were to happen again, if Watson were to get hit by a pitch or were to walk, the Oilers would be in a situation where the tying run would come to the plate. And do I need to remind the listeners and viewers at home, there is still nobody out in the bottom of the 9th inning. That's going to be it for Roca. Oh my goodness. That'll be it for him. Roca faced 7 batters. All 7 reached base. There is still nobody out. Auburn's going to go to their bullpen. They're going to bring in another right-hander. It's going to be the right-hander, James Hotfleisch, is going to pitch. Hotfleisch, a native of Genoa, New York, pitches for Cortland, and he's on in relief. Again, this inning started with a walk to Braden Rader. Antonio Cordero walked as well. A 2-run triple for Denny Martin. Made it a 10-3 game. Cooper Tarley reached on an error. Martin scored to make it 10-4. And then the base loading began. Connor O'Mara with a double. That got Tarley to third. A hit by pitch. Brady Smith was hit by a pitch to load the bases. And then Coslin hit by a 3-0 pitch to bring in a run. Will Watson at the plate. Oilers down by 5 still, but Will Watson's at the plate with the bases loaded and nobody out. And another, pitcher coming in for the bullpen, and it's not uncommon to see pitchers struggle to find the zone when they come in out of the pen. That's what we saw for Roca, and the struggle just continued, and Oilers making the most of it. 7 batters have come to the plate. All 7 have reached. Only 2 of those were on hits. As they had 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 hit by pitches, and an error. And now we're going to have a meeting on the mound before Will Watson is up. Will Watson drove in the first run of this game. An RBI double back in the third to score Brady Smith that at the time that gave the Oilers a 1-0 lead. 10 unanswered scored for Auburn. As the first pitch to Will Watson is low. Ball 1. So the Auburn bullpen looking like they're doing a little bit of tarps off out in the bullpen, standing up on the bench, trying to get behind their pitcher, James Hotfleisch. 1-0 pitch. Low. Ball 2. If you're an Auburn fan, you've got to be getting nervous right now. It's 10-5. This was a 10-1 game coming into the bottom of the 9th inning. 2-0 pitch from Hotfleisch. That one catches the zone for a strike. He had to throw a strike there, and he did. Will Watson, again, 1 for 3. Had that RBI double back in the third. Flew out in the 5th, grounded out in the 8th. The 2-1 pitch. Low in the dirt, ball 3. That's going to go all the way back to the backstop, and a run's going to come home to score. Coming home to score is Connor O'Mara, and it's 10-6 now. And a 3-1 count. 5 have scored in the inning. You're now 1 pitch away from the tying run coming to the plate. The Oilers dugout is going absolutely nuts. and everybody advanced on the pitch too. So Brady Smith at third, and Logan Coslin goes to second. A 3-1 pitch to Will Watson. I would not give him the green light here. The 3-1 pitch, he did, and he's fouled it away. That's the type of thing where you don't swing unless that one is definitely in the strike zone, and that one was. So it's 3-2 to Watson. And the 3-2 from Hotfleisch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So the first out of the ninth inning, a strikeout swinging from Will Watson. First strikeout for Hotfleisch, and now Jackson Custer comes in. Custer came in off the bench to bat for Matt Buffalo and flew out last inning. Custer swings the first pitch, hits us on the ground to first, and he'll be out there. A run does score, but the Oilers down to their final out as Smith comes home from third. And it's a 10-7 game and an RBI for Custer, but Dana Williams now trying to keep the Oilers alive. Back-to-back out after 7 straight had reached. Oilers have scored 6 runs in this inning. Logan Coslin at third and 2 outs. Dana Williams at the plate. And the pitch to him from Hotfleisch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Everybody's gotten a chance to hit. Dana Williams is 0 for 4. 2 flyouts and 2 strikeouts. 0-1 pitch from Hotfleisch is inside, ball one. Again, if Dana can find his way on, it'll bring the order back around to Braden Rader. And he would represent the tying run. Dana's got to get on base, though. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and fouled back, and the Oilers are down to their final strike. Hotfleisch trying to save the game after it looked like it was getting dangerously close to Olean coming all the way back from a 9-run deficit. Coslin short lead off of third. 1-2 to Dana Williams. High and inside, ball two. That's a tough take, but it works out. Ball two. Williams stays alive, trying to find his way on base. The 2-2 pitch from Hotfleisch. High, ball three, and the count goes full. An unbelievably important pitch here. 3-2 to Dana Williams. Hotfleisch settles in, takes a look at Coslin over at third. The 3-2 pitch to Dana. Low and inside, ball four, and the tying run's coming to the plate. That one just barely missed. A really close pitch. It's ball four. And somehow, after a 10-1 deficit heading into the ninth inning, the Oilers are bringing the tying run to the plate. So runners at the corners and 2 outs. So the Oilers will go to their bench to try and get some power. They're going to bring in Aiden Willard. Aiden Willard does not have a home run yet this year, but he does have a couple of triples. So Aiden Willard will be eventually coming to the plate. Runners at the corners, Logan Coslin at third, Dana Williams at second, and here comes Aiden Willard. A lefty-righty matchup. Oilers are bringing one of their best bats off the bench with the tying run at the plate, but 2 outs. Runners at the corners. Anything hitting the gap, you better believe Dana Williams is going to be hustling all the way around. Oh, Williams going to take off for second. Now no one was covering the bag. The pitch to Willard is high for a ball. So some defensive indifference. Dana Williams snags second base. No one was covering the bag. The first pitch to Willard was up high. The 1-0 pitch is a strike. That catches the inside corner. Aiden batting .250 on the year. Slugging percentage, though, .583. That's why he's in this spot. 1-1 pitch swung on and fouled down the first base line. And again, Oilers down to their last strike. One ball, two strikes. And the pitch to Willard. Strike three called, game over. Willard is rung up on a pitch that, at least from our vantage point, looked like it was high and inside. A tough way to end it, but what an unbelievable rally by the Oilers. They score 6 after trailing 10-1. They bring the tying run to the plate, but the Oilers ultimately fall 10-7 after an outstanding comeback effort. The Oilers are going to be on the road for the next few days. They'll be at Elmira tomorrow for a 6:30 start. Sunday at the Batavia Muck Dogs at 4:05. Oilers will not be back at home for 8 days. Next Saturday, the 27th, 6:30, right here against these same Auburn Doubledays. They'll host Auburn on Saturday at 6:30. They'll host Geneva Sunday at 4. That again, Saturday the 27th and Sunday the 28th. As for the Auburn Doubledays, they will also be on the road tomorrow, heading to Niagara to face the Ironbacks at 6:30. They'll be back at home on Sunday to host the Geneva Red Wings at 5 o'clock. Well, thanks to everybody for sticking around for what turned out to be an incredibly fun ninth inning. The Oilers somehow, after trailing 10-1, bring the tying run to the plate and ultimately fall 10-7 to the Auburn Doubledays. A fantastic game. It'll be a little while before we're home again at Bradner Stadium, but the Oilers will be on the road, and you can keep track of the season, how things progress on the road on pgcbl.com. Well, from all of us here at Bradner Stadium, we thank you for tuning into this broadcast of Oilers baseball. The Oilers, an incredible rally, but they fall just short 10-7. This is Matt Volz saying good night and go Oilers.